Hey guys, Giggity DFS back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be breaking down today's MLB main slate for today. It was a 9-game, now it's an 8-game because of the Chicago and St. Louis series. But before we jump into this one, if you have not checked out tilteddfs.com, they have a bunch of good stuff on there, and CSGO, MLB, NBA, football, hockey, golf, MMA, they got it all. Go ahead and check them out. Links in the description below. They have a bunch of good stuff, so go ahead and check them out. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Just try to get back to 3K subscribers and keep growing. Let's do this. But we're going to be starting off with Minnesota and Kansas City for today. We got Jake Odorizzi. Probably totally botched that name. Odorizzi for the Twins at 10-1, who's making his first start of the season. And then Danny Duffy at 6-7 for the Kansas City Royals. Looking at this straight off the bat, I'm not a big fan of Danny Duffy today. Not really too interested in going there. I'd rather get to the bats of the Minnesota Twins. Getting to Mitch Garver, Kepler, Cruz, Sano, and Rosario is going to be the way that I want to go today. Just because Danny Duffy's not a good pitcher, and normally Minnesota has a pretty strong offense, so normally they can get some runs across. And by the way, real quick, if you guys do hear any air conditioning or anything, I'm currently in a park right now. I was actually playing Pokemon Go Community Day with my dad and them, so was catching some shinies, having fun doing that. So that's why another reason why this video is coming out a little bit late, but not a real big deal. So if you hear any noise, I apologize in advance because it is hot out. It's currently 85 degrees out in my car. So anyways, so Minnesota hitters looking good. Not really too interested in Kansas City besides the usual suspects of Whit Merrifield and Soler, except for Whit Merrifield is $5,700, so not really too interested in getting to him today. But if you're going to get to somebody from the Royals, going after Soler is probably going to be the best choice for me. Moving on to the LA Angels and Texas Rangers, you got Colby Allard going for the Texas Rangers at 7,300, and you got Patrick Sandoval going for the LA Angels at 6,900. And I honestly don't mind going after pitching in this game. If I'm going to go after it, I'd rather go after Patrick Sandoval. Just because it's a cheaper pitcher, and Texas is not really the strongest for offense. So I don't mind getting to Patrick Sandoval at $6,900, especially on today's slate where there is some pitchers that are worth paying up for. Like I don't mind getting all the way up to Clayton Kershaw against the Giants, and maybe like Chris Paddock at $7,900. Well, there's not really a bunch of. I would be okay with getting to Patrick Sandoval and correlating him with Clayton Kershaw. There's also some cheap stacks in this slate, so you could definitely do a majority of what you would want to do. If you were going after some Texas bats, going after Solak, Odar, Gallo, and Fraser, and even Chirinos is probably going to be the ideal way to go, a 2 through 6. I'm not really a fan of Andrus, especially against left-handed pitching, so going after the 2 through 6 for the Texas if you want to get to something there. On the flip side, I don't mind going after some Angels, going after Trout, Rendon, Upton, and Ohtani, and even Pujols is going to be the way for me to go. Mike Trout has been on absolute fire this year. Let me see if I can bring up what he's done this year. He in 7 games, 1, 2, 3. He's played in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games this year. 5 home runs, 11 RBIs. A 317 batting average and a over 1,000 OPS. He is $6,000, but he is worth it. I wouldn't mind getting to him as a one-off. I wouldn't mind getting to Trout, Rendon, and Upton, most importantly. Just going after those guys could be a solid choice for today. Moving on to Cincinnati and Milwaukee. For this pitching matchup, you got Anthony DeScalvini at $8,400 for the Cincinnati Reds, and you got Brett Anderson at $7,100 for the Milwaukee Brewers. DeScalvini is actually one of my favorite pitchers on the slate, minus Clayton Kershaw. I do like his 8.4 price, and he's going up against a Milwaukee team that has been struggling lately. They have not really played well. Well, that's not going to show me anything. And they're going up against a pitcher. And the Cincinnati's going up against a pitcher that does not strike out that many batters. So I don't mind going after some Cincinnati today. Going after Irvin, Castellanos, Votto, Suarez. Even taking a risk on Davidson might be an okay option for me to go to today. Not really too interested in Brett Anderson. I'd rather get to Patrick Sandoval at $200 cheaper. But if you wanted to get to him, he's probably not going to be too high owned compared to the slate. So getting to him might not be a terrible idea. And then going after Milwaukee hitting, I would be a little stingy. If you're going to go anybody, Christian Yelich, but I'm not really interested in too much from the Milwaukee side. I'd rather get to DeScalvini from the Reds. Moving on to the New York Mets. Miami at Mets. After Miami won yesterday, that Walker didn't actually. He had one bad inning, but he actually did pretty well for his price. But today we have David Peterson at $7,200 for the Mets, which I really, really like that price. He's 1-1 this year, and each time he's gone over 5 innings, even when he was down bad to the Braves. He should not be on a pitch limit. Going for $7,200, going up against the Miami Marlins. Sign me up for some David Peterson. Really, really like that price. And then for the Miami Marlins, they have Dan Cassiano as their opener and Sterling Sharp as their long reliever. Not interested in either one of them, just because I'd rather get to other pitchers and I don't want to get to openers and relievers. Not really interested in that. That being the case, I do like going after some Mets today. Again, I know I'm a broken record, but going with the Mets going up against Miami, they should be able to try to get some offense. So going after McNeil, Alonso, Davis, Ramos, and Conforto would be the way for me to go. Even if you want to drop down to Nimmo, obviously look at the starting lineup when they were released. When I'm recording this video, the Mets lineup has not been released yet. So yeah, I think only one starting lineup has been released, or two starting lineups, and that was Minnesota and Kansas City has been released. Other than that, Texas has too, and the Reds, and that's pretty much it so far. So at the time that I'm recording this, that's all that's really been announced. So obviously keep an eye out. Go 1 through 5 or 2 through 6, whichever one you feel more comfortable with. Not going after any Miami pitching. Don't mind getting to some Mets today. On to the next one, which will be Toronto Blue Jays and the Boston Red Sox. For this one, we have Zach Godley going for the Boston Red Sox and Chase Anderson going for the Toronto Blue Jays. Not really interested in either one of those guys. Chase Anderson is coming off a injury, so he has not pitched this year at all. And Zach Godley has gone 4 or less innings in both outings that he's pitched. So I'm not really too interested in either one of these guys, especially that Toronto and Boston don't have the worst of offenses. I don't mind getting to some Boston hitting. I don't mind getting to some Toronto hitting. Going after Benintendi, Devers, Martinez, Bogarts, Moreland, and Vasquez is going to be the way to go on the Boston side. And as for the Toronto side, Bichette, Bingio, Gurriel, Tellez, and Galero for that side. Not really too interested in pitching. Rather get to offense on this one. There's better pitching on the slate. We got 3 games left. First one's going to be, I believe it's the Dodgers game. Yes, Dodgers, where we have what was supposed to be the opening day starters. We got Clayton Kershaw at $10,500, most expensive pitcher on the slate for the Dodgers, and you got Johnny Cueto going for the San Francisco Giants. Clayton Kershaw, sign me up. Even at 10.5, there's enough value to get on the slate by going down to either Peterson from the Mets or Sandoval from LA. You will easily be able to pay up for Clayton Kershaw, and in a very cupcake matchup for him against the Giants, where he has their number and he's normally really good against them, it's hard for me to go away from Clayton Kershaw. Strikes out about 26% of his batters. I really do like getting there. I'm not really too interested in... Okay, I don't know why I did that. I'm not really too interested in going after any Giants hitters. If I am, it's Yastrzemski, and that's about it. Not really too interested in anybody else. Also, I'm not interested in Johnny Cueto, because I'd rather get to some hitting from the Dodgers, even though they are a little bit expensive. Max Muncy at 54, Turner at 45, Seager at 46, Peterson at 42, Bellinger at 49. Mookie Betts is really the most expensive position player on the slate at $6,200, which is quite outrageous for a position player, but he's probably worth that price. I don't mind getting there. So going after Pederson, Betts, Bellinger, Turner, and Muncy is going to be the way for me to go if I'm going to go and stack the Dodgers. Moving on to the second to last game, which is Arizona and San Diego. We got Merrill Kelly at $10K going for Arizona, and Chris Paddock for the Padres at $79. I would much rather get to Chris Paddock on this in this game than get to Merrill Kelly. Don't get me wrong, Kelly's a decent choice. I'd rather pay out $500 for Clayton Kershaw, no doubt, which also means that Merrill Kelly is going to be a little bit under-owned today. So maybe going after him could be a decent leverage spot, but I'd rather get after the San Diego hitting, going after Tatis, Machado, Pham, and Hosmer and Myers is going to be the way for me to go with this one. I don't really want to go after as much Arizona. If you are, just the top 3 guys, Marte, Calhoun, and Marte. And then if you wanted to drop down for a cheaper catcher in Kelly, that is fine as well. Just not really too interested in the Arizona side, going up against Chris Paddock, which I feel like is going to be one of the higher scoring pitchers on the slate, going up against a weak Arizona team. So I don't mind getting to him at $7,900. Final game of the day, you got Colorado and Seattle. Another one that I really don't like going after the pitching for. You got Nick Margaritis at $5,500 for the Seattle Mariners, and Ryan Castellani for the Colorado Rockies. Once again, this is a matchup that I'd rather go after hitting. Going after Dahl, Story, Blackmon, Arenado, and Kemp for Colorado. And for Seattle, if you're going to get to them, Lewis, Seager, and Nola. That's and Crawford, because I think Crawford's actually quite cheap. 4K for a leadoff hitter is actually not that bad. So maybe getting to him as a one-off is not a bad choice. But that's where I'm going for this slate. Let me know what you guys are. Running in the comment section below. And good luck tonight, and let's make some money.